We made this journey this fall and saw some gorgeous country on both ends in a very short time. Traveling from the warm, dry climate of Arizona, complete with the wonders of the desert, beautiful cactuses, and rugged land formations, to the cool, fresh air of the coastal mountains and the Pacific Ocean in Skagway, Alaska, is a trip that we would recommend to everyone. You might ask why the trip and why so quick. Sometimes life gives you a very short time frame to do things, but that doesn't mean that you should enjoy them any less. This trip was over 3,000 miles and was absolutely packed with the splendors of autumn, wonderful sights, and great people. We, Emil and Eva, who build the AG Hay drying system, a hay dryer that dries large bales of hay that has been baled at higher moisture. Our revolutionary dryer is helping farmers around the world to harvest better quality hay consistently. The dryer was the reason that we found ourselves in Phoenix in the first place. Here is where we attended the National Hay Association annual convention this year at the Scottsdale Resort Spa. Hay producers from all across the nation gather a couple of times a year to meet with the National Hay Association. While there, we had the pleasure of seeing the sights of old Scottsdale. Visiting with friends was great. Thanks for the roses, Amy. Delicious Mexican food is one of the traits of Arizona that we really enjoyed. We took a bus out to view some alfalfa farms nearby. At a farm, we observed and learned about harvesting hay in Arizona, which is very different from harvesting hay in British Columbia, Canada. Appears that you can grow anything in Arizona if you have water. This is the heart of the hay fields in Arizona. They created the irrigation systems necessary to raise the amazing crops that they produce. There are acres and acres of beautiful green alfalfa fields in Arizona. It isn't possible to stop at every spot, but we took a couple minutes at Jacob Lake Inn and to enjoy the much cooler air up in the mountains. I know that Montana is considered the big sky state, but in all truth, the sky in Arizona is pretty big too. Sunsets in Arizona are beautiful, and the desert skyline makes a statement all on its own. We are not real familiar with the desert and found the foliage there interesting and attractive. We learned that there are over 2,000 different varieties of plants in the Sonora Desert. We had the opportunity to enjoy a yummy breakfast at the Cracker Barrel restaurant in Flagstaff, Arizona. On to the ruggedness and diversity of Utah. The Red Rock is just amazing to look at. There is no question that this is a vast country, and we are so blessed to be able to travel and enjoy what it has to offer. Definitely a feast for the eyes. We had the good fortune of stopping by at a hay producer in Idaho, enjoyed viewing his facilities and equipment. It is always great to see and smell top quality hay, almost like going out for ice cream. Montana was next, and although the characteristics of the land changed somewhat, the fall colors shine there too. Seemed like you could see forever and that the miles would never end in Montana. So many pastures and grain and hay fields. Arrived back in Canada at the Sweetgrass Crossing. Always feels good to cross and be that much closer to home. Harvesting is going full force in Alberta. I think only a farmer tourist would really take a photo of a combine while traveling. Had a quick look at the metropolis of Calgary as we traveled through the home of the infamous Calgary Stampede. Many views of horses, cattle, and an occasional mule through Alberta. Next came the Canadian Rocky Mountains, majestic and beautiful in every way. We arrived home in Vanderhoof, British Columbia. This is our dog king surveying his domain. I was able to drop off Eva, fill the cooler, and head out for Skagway to pick up our daughter Kalene, who would be finished her summer job there the next day. Headed west to Highway 37 Junction. This is the junction at Kiwanga, where the Yellowhead Highway 16 and 37 meet. And to our American friends, no, that isn't $1.75 per gallon. That is per liter. On the Stewart-Cassiar Highway now, and it is 850 miles to Skagway. This highway was completed in 1972, only 52 years ago. The terrain here is generally hilly, somewhat mountainous, and the communities that are out there are few and far between. Larger than California, northern British Columbia extends up to the Yukon-Alaska border with sweeping glaciated valleys, volcanic rock formations, towering mountain ranges, and mist-shrouded coast, soon to meet up with the infamous Alaska Highway. Alaska is advertising in the Yukon. This railroad was completed in 27 months using only hand tools, black powder, and regional timber. The White Pass Yukon route rises almost 2,900 feet from sea level at the port of Skagway to the White Pass summit on the US and Canada border in just 20 miles, accomplishing one of the steepest climbs of any railroad in the world. Many, many miles of gorgeous fall colors and crisp air while getting closer to Alaska. And today's our daughter Kalene's last day of work, and I'll make it there to pick her up soon. Such a beautiful and vast country we live in. Here is the US border crossing into Alaska that leads to Skagway. We are into mountainous area now, so much so that neither the US border crossing nor the Canadian border crossing are on the actual borderline. In fact, these two crossings are about 10 miles apart. Welcome to Skagway, that was incorporated in 1897. It is really like stepping back in time. This is the White Pass station. Sadly, we are going to have to make another trip to be able to ride in that train. Definitely a main attraction in Skagway. A close-up of the train that offers an incredible ride over the White Pass and into Fraser, British Columbia. This 27.7-mile one-way journey is fully narrated while you relax in comfortable coach cars. We are going to come back for that at a later date. Looks like the Alaskan fry bread location is the place to be. Skagway's population for 2024 is 1,224. However, during peak summer cruise season, the number of people there can be over 12,000. Do you see the mist-shrouded mountains in the background? The Pacific Ocean. So beautiful. Here are the tourists from the cruise ships, scouting out and about to see the attractions of Skagway. Kalene tells us that sometimes there are 4 cruise ships in one day. Cruise ships are not my thing, but they do look pretty amazing. If you look closely, you will see the White Pass train camouflaged into the hillside. This is our daughter, Kalene. We had met earlier in the store and are getting ready to pack up for home. She loves Skagway and plans on coming back to work there next year. I have to agree, it is pretty amazing. That's it, folks. Phoenix to Skagway in 5 days.